Good to see you in this exercise in transparency and democracy. Is
that what it is?
Hey y'all, it is June the 5th, 2019, and y'all, I just woke up maybe about 20-ish minutes ago, and I came to find out that YouTube, you know, as you're probably aware of, has been, you know, for a while, involved in their own destruction, all right? And I found out about 20 minutes ago that they pretty much just put that destruction into hyperdrive, all right? It's like they're at every corner of their own website, lighting it on fire, all right? It's kind of ridiculous, and I believe probably all y'all know exactly what it is that I'm talking about right now, all right? So I'm not going to get into too great of a detail. I am going to say this, though. I do have a BitChute, and the BitChute is below. I haven't been uploading to it over the, past couple weeks. The thing is, what I got to report on as far as my BitChute is that it does get views. It gets pretty decent views, even compared to YouTube. The only thing is that people haven't been commenting. Typically there's no comments on my BitChute. The reason is because most people ain't subscribed. They don't have an account on BitChute and stuff. But they'll go and they'll see my videos. They'll peruse around, and so they do get views. They just don't get comments. That's why I've been, uploading to YouTube, because I get all sort of very, very good comments, just juicy. I love it. The tips and stuff, I appreciate it. Trust me, it makes my job so much easier. All right, but like I said, YouTube is really, really trying to commit their own death, right? So at any moment, anybody can get banned, and everybody knows it. So there is a link below, and once I get banned and you get banned and your mama get banned, right, just go to BitChute and throw me those comments, because I need them, or I really would appreciate them. And I know that y'all appreciate me out there, and I appreciate y'all for appreciating me, all right? And neither one of us appreciate YouTube, all right? It's a God-forsaken place. It's a God-awful place, all right? And it's preposterous. All of it is. Here's the thing also, I wanted to include a video, because just today and the day before, we've made videos about Scott Peterson and the controversy going on there. And I want to remind everybody before I play this video, it's my man, all right? My man, Mike Adams, and he's on my network. That'd be InfoWars, all right? And I have a whole bunch of people who are my man. They come through. I have a whole bunch of people who I like to represent for, all right? And so I'm about to throw up the video. It's going to be the remainder of this video, in case if y'all hadn't seen this, because I found it quite intriguing. And before I do, I want to let you know that I don't know. I have no idea what happened at Parkland, but I really, really do want to know. As far as the intentions of Scott Peterson, I'm not sure. I don't know if I agree with Mike Adams all the way. I don't know if I agree. All right, but yet and still, that's not even a problem. I don't have to agree with Mike Adams. For the most part, I do. I do agree with Mike Adams. What he's saying, for the most part in this video, I do agree. As to the motives of Scott Peterson, I just don't know, and I want to know. I really want to know. So with that being said, without further ado, here's our man Mike Adams with something very intriguing. It's about to get banned up off of YouTube, so get it while it's hot. Like I said, there's a link below. Go ahead and subscribe to my BitChute, And this is all out war that YouTube has declared on us. All right? They think they're going to win it. They're not going to win it. It's June the 5th, 2019.
My analysis is this was a real event. Of course, children were shot, they were killed, they were sacrificed, but Scott Peterson and others, I believe, were ordered to stand down in order to maximize the fatalities of innocent children so that the gun control lobby could control the narrative, so that they could cause mass carnage in order to demand gun confiscation and new gun laws. Now, I've got this article right now up at Natural News. InfoWars, you're welcome to post it as well if you haven't already, or maybe you've got your own coverage of it, but this is spreading like wildfire, this report and this acknowledgement that this person chose to stand down. So no one can say to us, oh, you're making that up, this didn't happen. No, this is a Florida state investigation, and the man has been indicted on 11 counts, and he's facing decades in prison. Breaking news today that has been, well, it's been covered by quite a few of the independent media outlets. The Broward County Sheriff's deputy named Scott Peterson, who stood down as the Parkland school shooting, remember the Marjorie Douglas Stoneman High School shooting took place, I think taking the lives of 17 students. During that shooting, Scott Peterson stood down. Not only did he refuse to enter the building, even though he was trained to do so, he's supposed to be the responding officer. He was there, he stood down, and he also directed other members of law enforcement to stand down and do not enter the building. And he has now been indicted on 11 counts of child neglect. This indictment has been handed down from an investigative department inside the state of Florida. And this has been reported widely, including by local media outlet WCTV. And this follows an investigation carried out by the state of Florida, by the way, which never would have happened, I think, unless Ron DeSantis had been elected, the governor. So, you know, well, elections do matter. It's only because of that election that this is coming out, I believe. But according to the report, Scott Peterson, quote, refused to investigate the source of the gunshots, right? So he heard children being shot, and he refused to, he didn't have any curiosity, like, I wonder, are children being shot in this school? He's there with a firearm, with training to respond. He's had active shooter training, didn't do anything. Also, according to the report, he, quote, retreated during the active shooting while victims were being shot. So instead of running toward the gunshots, like a law enforcement officer would normally do to try to save lives and try to take out the threat, he ran away from the gunshots. And he also, quote, directed other law enforcement personnel to stay away from the building and not interfere with the shooting. Now, that's being widely reported, but here's my analysis that isn't reported, and take this for what you will. In my analysis and with the experience of journalism and history of all kinds of, events taking place, including false flag elements that have happened in the past or stand down elements that have happened in the past, my analysis is this was a real event. Of course, children were shot, they were killed, they were sacrificed, but Scott Peterson and others, I believe, were ordered to stand down in order to maximize the fatalities of innocent children so that the gun control lobby could control the narrative, so that they could cause mass carnage in order to demand gun confiscation and new gun laws. Now, I've got this article right now up at Natural News. InfoWars, you're welcome to post it as well if you haven't already, or maybe you've got your own coverage of it, but this is spreading like wildfire, this report and this acknowledgement that this person chose to stand down. So no one can say to us, oh, you're making that up, this didn't happen. No, this is a Florida state investigation, and the man has been indicted on 11 counts, and he's facing decades in prison. Why did he stand down? I believe he was ordered to do so. And I would hope that this investigation would go up the chain of command to, I think his name is Scott Israel, right? Sheriff Israel there. And probably others who may have been involved. It needs to be investigated because this looks like a stand down order. Now, in order to understand the context of this, you also have to go back and look at Eric Holder, the former Attorney General under Barack Obama, and how they tried to pull off Operation Fast and Furious. During Operation Fast and Furious, in case you don't remember, they deliberately allowed firearms to walk out of gun stores and into the hands of Mexican drug cartels, knowing that those firearms would come back across the border into the United States and be used to carry out acts of gang violence against innocent Americans. And there was at least one border official who was murdered by one of those weapons that we know of. There are probably many more. This operation was plotted and carried out by Barack Obama, Eric Holder, and many others in order to stage real violence to call for gun control. This is something that Democrats do again and again and again. And the fact that Democrats are willing to murder their own children tells us that they don't care how many kids they kill. To them, killing kids is just what they say post-birth abortion. If they can kill a bunch of kids and gain control over the narrative, and then Google can come along and ban all dissenting views that question the official narrative, then the Democrats can control that conversation about gun control or about the Second Amendment or individual liberties and human rights and all these things. And that's exactly what they have done here. I believe these children were sacrificed. I believe they were allowed to be killed. And I believe that the parents of those children, if they really want to do something about what happened to their innocent children, they should file suit against Broward County Sheriff's Department. They should look into what Scott Peterson did. They should follow this report. You know, stop blaming those of us who question the official narrative when we now know the official plan was to stand down. It's patriots like us and it's Second Amendment supporters like us and concealed carriers like us who would have entered that building to stop the shooter. We would have tried to save the lives of children. We, the conservatives and the Trump supporters, we are not the kind of people who would run away from innocent children being killed. We would not tell law enforcement, no, don't enter the building. But that's what Scott Peterson did, according to this report. And that's what Democrats do again and again and again to maximize the violence, maximize the bloodshed. Because again, Democrats are demons at this point. They're democrats. That's the proper word for them. These people don't care how many kids they kill because they murder their own kids. See, it's once you realize that they have legalized infanticide and they actually stood up and cheered, remember the standing ovation in the legislative chambers of New York, the state of New York. They stood up and cheered when they passed the bill to murder their own babies. And they call that women's health. And then the New York Times comes out and says, well, a baby, an unborn child doesn't have a heartbeat, they say. It has, what do they call it, embryonic pulsing. So now they have to use language to twist everything around. They say, oh, it's not murdering a baby, it's not infanticide, it's just, it's women's health care. You see, oh, it's not a heartbeat, it's embryonic pulsing. Well, by their logic, I mean, I guess they could justify any kind of murder of children, which is probably what they tell themselves when they are ordering each other to stand down and not rescue these children in mass shootings. And I believe, there's no question in my mind, that the scene of that shooting had to be chosen in advance because this stand down had to be coordinated. Obviously, these officers had to be told to stand down. And I challenge you to go look now throughout the history of events, of mass shootings. Maybe look at what happened in Las Vegas. Look at what happened even in Oklahoma City. Look at what happened in Waco. Look at 9/11. Look at all these events and just start asking intelligent questions. Was someone ordered to stand down? Why didn't the United States Air Force intercept those jumbo jets on September 11, 2001? What happened there? What happened to our national defenses? Why was there a stand down order? Why are there in many events training exercises? Training exercises that suddenly go live, or sometimes training exercises that take resources away that would normally respond to an active shooter situation. There are a lot of questions to be asked. And it's especially notable today that Google has announced you can no longer ask questions. You must accept the official narrative on everything, according to Google and YouTube. You can't question anything. You can't question what CNN says to be true. You're not even allowed to question the Russia collusion narrative that's been pushed by the desperate Democrats for the last 2.5 years now. No questions allowed. This is the new tech tyranny, techno-fascism that has taken over our country. And yet right here, what you're watching right now, Infowars.com, we ask the questions. We dare to exercise our human ingenuity and curiosity. We ask questions and bring you real answers.
I said one time, who's in charge here?
And I think the congressman's right about that fact. Jerry, you want some? Yeah, I got some here. Jerry, take a drink. You look a little dehydrated, brother. You seem a little dehydrated. You okay?
A little longer on the floor than I had anticipated in the custody of the border. Everyone, he started sending signals to the U.S., Mexico, Canada. If that's not the accurate character, some people call it after NAFTA, some call it NAFTA 2.0, working together to pass that.
You seem a little dehydrated. You okay? You want to take a drink of this?
But the president again stormed out. I think first pound the table, walk out the door. But I intend not. The three things.
You want to take a drink of this to give yourself some? How you feel, man? You okay?
What happened?
You all right? Okay, you want to drink some of this and give you some electrolyte. How you feel, man? You okay?
What happened? We can walk and chew gum at the same time. I hope he can too.
I want to just put out a message right now to the Democrats because look, your leaders, Nancy Pelosi and Jerry Nadler, are struggling. And so we've got BrainForce Plus at InfoWarsStore.com. And if there has ever been an example of somebody that needs BrainForce Plus, the neural activator, it's Nancy Pelosi and it's Jerry Nadler. Now, unfortunately, we're not miracle workers here, and we can only do so much with our great supplements at InfoWarsStore.com. But if there's any hope at all for Nancy Pelosi or Jerry Nadler to get their brain working, it's BrainForce Plus from InfoWarsStore.com. And if you're ever feeling like a Pelosi or a Nadler and you can't think or talk straight or move, BrainForce Plus is the answer. So don't be a Pelosi and fumble and bumble through a press conference like a gibbering idiot. Don't be a Jerry Nadler who can't even think or pick his head up and look forward during a press conference. Go to InfoWarsStore.com and get yourself some BrainForce Plus. You don't want to look like Pelosi, okay? You don't want to look like Nadler. You want to look sharp. You want your mind to be sharp. So go to InfoWarsStore.com and get your BrainForce Plus today.